Hi, everybody. Today we're going to continue the analysis of my perspective from the invention of everything else for Samantha Hunt. This selection talks about Nikola Tesla as an inventor. It tells us an imaginative story about his life at the age of 86 while he was in a hotel talking to the pigeons, um, suffering from the um, theft or the experience his experience with Marconi. So let's go to see the background and to see the full details of this selection. Samantha Hunt. She was born in 1971. Samantha Hunt is an American novelist, essayist, and short story writer. Her award winning stories and essays have appeared in many prestigious publications, including The New Yorker, the New York Times Magazine. In 2006, she won the National Book Foundation's Under 35 Award, which each year honors five young fiction writers for their excellences. So, Samantha was one of the, or still is one of the most prominent, important American writers. She was very famous. She wrote in many different prestigious publications like newspaper and magazines. What is a novel excerpt? The genre of this selection is novel, and a novel is a relatively long work of narrative fiction, typically written in prose and published as a book. So, as you know, literature is divided into many parts, like we have novel, which is a long story, a short story, essays, poetry, and so on. Background. I'd like to give you an advice. You need to read the background and the author to know more about the text. So, background shows you more about the perspective or the point of view of the author himself and why did he wrote this selection. And don't forget the genre, because the genre also help you to understand the purpose of the author, like um, biography, expository text to inform and entertain, but fiction and novels mostly to um, entertain and amuse, because most of the events are movie, not real one. So, in her novel, Samantha Hunt imagines the last days in the life of Nikola Tesla from the perspective of the famous inventor, as a famous inventor. This excerpt refers to Marconi as an inventor who sent the first wireless signal across an ocean and received a Nobel Prize for his work in 1911. However, he did so by using many key inventions that were initially developed by Nikola Tesla. So here, Tesla is accusing Marconi by stealing most or many of his inventions to help him to develop his invention, which is a wireless sending wireless signal across an ocean. But the question here, and actually this question passes Nikola Tesla's mind, that how can Marconi exceed and be fast in inventing and sending these wireless signals before Nikola Tesla himself? Maybe Marconi has some sort of skill as well. This is Nikola Tesla because many people don't know about him. He's just famous by the electric cars or maybe hybrid cars. He put the first design for an electric car, and this is Marconi. From the invention of everything else, this is a summary. This excerpt from Samantha Hunt novel, The Invention of Everything Else, is an interior monologue in which an aged Nikola Tesla reflects bitterly on his life as an inventor. At the age of 86, he lives in a hotel in New York City, lonely and impoverished, and interacts with the pigeons that congregate on his window ledge, feeding them and tending to their injuries. Tesla remembers one of his earliest inventions at age of 7, a motor powered by my bugs, which was eaten by a local bully. He thinks angrily about Guglielmo Marconi, who he believes to steal or stole his patent for wireless transmission that became the radio later. Patent is an official written permission for somebody or an institution to use or sell an invention. The reader is offered a glimpse into the mind of a brilliant inventor who has been largely forgotten, like most people don't know about Nikola Tesla, by the world and has little to show for his life work. It's said that most people don't know about Nikola Tesla. He started to be famous um, after his death or a few years before his death, then after. Insight. This insight is taken from my perspective. 8. The excerpt from the invention of everything else challenges the belief that Marconi invented the radio. Indeed, the Supreme Court in 1843 did invalidate some of Marconi's patents. Tesla had provided an idea of which Marconi found in practical application. Tesla was an extraordinary genius with such an active mind that he rarely bothered to take out patents on his work. And maybe this is his mistake. Unlike other inventors like Edison, Westinghouse, and Marconi, Tesla didn't spend much time in public relations, so he was forgotten long before his death. So here we discovered that the weak point of Tesla, he was not a social person. He just sometimes he didn't ask for um, people to get patent from him to prove that he is the real owner of these inventions. Uh, if we're gonna compare between somebody like Edison as an inventor and Tesla himself, we're gonna see that Edison is smarter or social smart person who was very public and famous with people, and Edison depended on the teamwork, but Tesla uh, did most or all of his inventions alone. This quotation is taken from the selection itself. All day thoughts of Marconi have been poking me in the reps. They often do whenever I feel particularly low or lonely or poorly financed. I'll shut my eyes and concentrate on sending Marconi a message. So Tesla is imagining himself sending Marconi a message. The message is Marconi, you're a thief. I focus with a great concentration until I can mentally access the radio waves. As the invisible waves advance through my head, I attach a few words to each, like donkey, worm, and limousin, which is an adjective that I only recently acquired the meaning of, like slug. When I'm certain that the words are fixed to the radio waves, I'll send the words off toward Marconi. Because he has stolen my patents, um, he has stolen my invention of radio, he has stolen my notoriety. Not that either of us deserved it. Invention is nothing a man can own. He believed that the invention is owned by all humanity, but he um, he has forgotten that he needs first to prove that he is the one who made this or who made this invention. Then he can let the humanity make the best use of it. We have two types of conflicts here. we have an internal and external conflict. There are two conflicts here. The first is a man versus man, as Marconi's theft of Tesla's invention suggests an ongoing struggle between the two men. The second and greater conflict is that of a man versus himself, which is called internal conflict. Tesla cannot let go of his anger, and the fact that he brings up the conflict with Marconi when he is feeling low or lonely suggests that it represents his failure and disappointment. So, Marconi caused some sort of grief and pain for Tesla. Whenever Tesla is angry, sad, or in poverty, he discovers this person. So, um, the fact that he brings up the conflict with Marconi when he is feeling low and lonely suggests that it represents his failures and disappointments. Reminds students that the conflict is a struggle between opposing forces. This is something very important. Students must notice this. Like a conflict is a struggle between the person and himself or the person and other characters. There are two kinds of conflict, as I mentioned before, external and internal. The internal is a conflict a character struggles against an outside force, another character simply, an element of nature or some aspect of society. In an internal conflict, the conflict is within a single character who is struggling with opposing feeling, beliefs, needs, and desires. Here we have some sort of comprehension check. Where does Tesla live? In what country did he originally live? Tesla lives in Hotel New York, okay, or the hotel is called New Yorker in New York City. He originally lived in what became Yugoslavia. What does Tesla use ledge outside his window for? Like, what is the function of the ledge outside of his window? Tesla uses the ledge outside his window as a place to treat old and injured pigeons. He wanted to cure the injured pigeons and talk to them to tell them about his sad stories. For what reason is Tesla angry with Marconi? Because Marconi stole his invention of the radio and has gained fame as a result. Marconi was able to send the signals of the radio across the ocean before him. What question does Tesla try to outrun the ledge outside his window for? The question is why Marconi progressed more quickly than Tesla in communicating across the ocean. Like Tesla himself feel amused that why did Marconi did that before him, and he is the one who made the origins and the base of this invention. So here, as I told you, Tesla is a little bit shocked because he is not, so smart in social communication, and maybe this is the reason why he cannot get the deserved fame and popularity between people. In comparison, for sure, in comparison to Marconi himself and other great inventors like Edison. So we're gonna stop here in this selection. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment below this video. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.